So today's Sunday. We're here. I'm standing next to Brady Short, very popular driver. And we're at Terre Haute Speedway, and it's April 27th, but it's looking kind of crappy out. Brady, do you think we're going to get the race in today?
It's not looking too promising. It looks like the storms are only about 15 minutes from here now, and it's 4 o'clock, so we'll see, I guess.
So this is my first time talking to you, and I'm new to USAC this year, so bear with me on a couple of these questions. Tell me about your first win ever in any kind of car. The first time you got the checkered flag. Tell me about that.
It was back in 2003, actually. It was at a track in Crown Point all the way up by Chicago in a Modify. It was I was only, I think, 16 at the time, and it was definitely an experience. You know, it was to get your first win in anything is hard to do. And
what was that in again? I'm sorry.
In a Modify.
Modify?
Yep. And to get your first win, you know, it's something. It's the hardest thing to do. And then after that, they come. They're not easier, but you know, they just. Your first one you always remember, you know, no matter what, so it's always stuck in my head.
Was your dad or parents or family or anyone there to celebrate?
Oh yeah, they was all there with me, you know, so it was that's what made it even more special, you know.
Did you buy that winner photo?
Yep.
Good. All right. Now on the other end of it, unfortunately, part of racing is wrecking, so do you remember a wreck that you were involved in that just stands out among all the other ones and that you wish you could forget? Where and when roughly was it? You had to pick one.
Yeah, there's a few of them. If obviously I just broke my wrist in Florida back in February, you know, so that's probably one I'd want to forget. But
I was there,
yeah.
And I got pictures of your car, and
yeah.
It looked like a bad one.
Yeah,
and how's that feeling now?
It's good. It's I got the cast off a little early, you know, and it was still a little cracked, so I wore a support thing, but it feels good now. I just wear a support when I race. But probably the worst one was 2008 at Eldora. I flipped getting into one. So
what was anyone involved with that, or just got loose, or what?
No, I actually was running third, and I decided I was going to be a hero and try to go above the stuff, you know, getting into one, and it didn't work out too well. Luckily, no one else was involved, and I wrecked, and the motor was halfway hanging out of it, and it was, yeah. So
you didn't clear the fence. It was just
yeah. I landed on my wheels, and it tore everything up, and I got out, and blood was coming out of my nose, you know. So it kind of made me. That one probably want to forget, you know. It was.
Did you ever buy that picture?
No, I didn't buy that one.
Okay. So, what track, if you could pick one to race at, what dirt track would you for the USAC cars? What's your favorite track to race at, and why? If you could only pick one racetrack, could you tell me the name of it? I'm sure you got lots of favorites, but what's the track that you really enjoy going to?
The one I most enjoy going to actually is Brownstown Speedway, and they only run sprint cars there like 3 times a year, but that's my all-time favorite racetrack, and USAC went there a few years ago, and it was, you know, a lot of fun to race at. But there's something about that racetrack where it's wide and racy, and you got to be on the gas. And
okay. Now, not to interrupt, but I heard, was it you saying, though, that you didn't like it? I was at Brownstown in Victory Lane, and you finished third there for the No Way Out 40 race. But somebody said that you were saying that you didn't like what they had did to it over the winter. Is that true, or was that just hearsay?
No, that's true. I didn't. They cut where I run off the racetrack. See, I used to run off the racetrack there and find grip and then jump back on the racetrack, and they made it where you can't really fall off and do that anymore, so it kind of makes it more challenging. I was still running my line like I always do there, just didn't run off, so it's still fun to me, you know, I mean, to do that. But
you guys looked really good. There were some drivers that were going off and then launching back on, and that was really fun from a photographer perspective. But
yeah, it's a fun racetrack, and I enjoy going there, you know. But
well, that's a good thank you for sharing that answer with me, because I'm sure there's probably lots of answers, or every driver's got a different answer for that one. Okay, and then there's 5 cars sitting here, and they all paid the same for a living. Okay, one's an Indy car, one's a NASCAR Cup car, you have the Truck Series, and then you have a non-wing and a wing car. If you could get paid $1 million a year for each one of those, what would you pick? It's your only car that you could drive the rest of your career. Which one would you pick?
Probably a non-wing sprint car.
Cool, thank you. And other than that, I'd want to end with last night. How did you feel about the track last night? We're at Where were we at?
Hobstadt.
Hobstadt. This is a long weekend. This is my third race. And that's actually, it was my first time ever at Gas City or Hobstadt. So, pardon me. What'd you think about that racetrack last night? Was that fun to race?
Yeah, it's one of my top 5 favorite racetracks. So I love going there every week. If we could go there every week, but we ended up starting on the front row of that feature. And just didn't. I had run third there for a while and just didn't have the car there at the end, and I started losing grip and couldn't get around lap traffic. So we ended up 5th, but. All in all, that's how that racetrack always gets. It gets real slick there at the end. You got to really have the car tight early. So it was a lot of fun. We ended on a good note. Finishing top 5 with USAC boys. So it's hard to do. So
top 5 is really cool. And then lastly, sponsors. I know these cars are expensive to race. So is there anyone that really helped you out this year you want to say thank you to?
Yeah, it's it's a Potter family there. They're out of Paragon. They actually own the cars, and they're behind me, with everything. And Indiana Stoneworks, which my mom and dad own it, so they help me out a lot. And Simpson Race Products, they give me great seat belts and for safety and everything, helmets and all that good stuff. And Butler built seats, and everybody that come on board and helps me. I got CSI shocks and everything. So it's been a great year so far. Hopefully we can keep it up.
That car sure looks dang good. That's a nice looking scheme you got there on it. So, well, thank you for your time, Brady, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.